So, what I said is, at the beginning what I said is, in a traditional Solaris machine, we have slicers, right? And you understand the logical names of the slicers, right? So all the slicers are saved in this particular directory, and also we have another directory called RDSK, okay? Right, just introducing RDSK. So all the logical names are saved in dev DSK and dev RDSK. C0, D0, these are the logical names. For example, people who came late, this is a motherboard, right? I have two controllers, C0 and C1. C0 has two targets, target 1 and target 0 and target 1. I have one hard drive here. One hard drive can have one Solaris partition, only one. In that Solaris partition, I can have slices, right? So every slice has an address. For example, this slice, S1, this slice is S1, that is under C0, C0, T0, T0, D0, D0, S1, like your address, it's a logical address. And if I want to use it, first thing is I have to detect it, then I have to use NewFS or format hard drive, and then I have to mount that particular slice, this slice under a temporary mount point or a permanent mount point, right? I have to do that. Okay. So in this one, the disadvantage here is, if the slice is only 100 megabytes, if it is getting filled up, I can't do anything. My options are, normally when a file system is created, it keeps about, nowadays 3% because hard drives are so big, it keeps some space unused.
Yep.
Lost and found.
Lost and found as well.
Yeah, unused. So I can reduce the unused space and get some space temporarily. Say for example, in this room, I am asking nobody can sit here. So this is unused space. If suppose the 3 people come, I can say, okay, you can use it. Right? So something like that. That is one way. But by that you gain only a small space maybe, right? Maybe 1 gigabyte, 2 gigabyte, depending on the size of the file system, right? The second option is, I have to buy a brand new hard drive, or I have to look for another slice which is very big compared to this, back up all the data and copy to that slice. Back up all the data and copy to larger slice or larger hard drive, and then ask the people, oh, use it. Then until that time, your 1,000 people may be just not doing anything. Or your 1 million customers cannot shop in your web server. Right? So you lose business. So to avoid that, we use volume management. Right? In volume management, any number of hard drives can be added into a disk group in the case of Veritas. And then we have a disk group here where we keep volumes, we create volumes, and we format the volumes and we mount the volumes. And we can use it. Okay? People can copy. In case the space there is getting filled up, I can increase this without any problem. Can I shrink it? If I feel after 2 years I'm having 3 terabytes just unused, can I shrink it?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Can shrink it. Yeah. So I can shrink also. In Veritas. I can expand, shrink. In Solaris Volume Manager, I can expand, but I can't shrink. Yeah. Veritas is a product which is specialized for volume management or clustering. That is their purpose. So it has more functionalities. Volume Manager is even free with Solaris. It's a part of Solaris. Right?
Sir, but these days, are we using this volume management?
Veritas Volume Manager, that's the next thing I'm going to tell you. Okay?
Because now we have ZFS, right? So it's...
That's the next thing I'm going to tell you. So he's asking a question. Are we still using Veritas Volume Manager? Because now I want to talk about a new file system Solaris introduced. That new file system is called ZFS. Have you heard about ZFS?
Yes.
Yes,
Is
sir.
it of us?
Yes.
Have you?
Yes, sir.
How much space, how much file systems, what would be the file system size maximum?
Infinity.
Fun?
Zeta.
Yeah, infinity. In words, if you say 250 billion, trillion zettabytes. I mean 250 trillion zettabytes. You have data so much? So it's unlimited. Z is the last character, like in ABCD. People familiar with ABCD? Z is the last character, right? So you cannot go beyond that. It's so big, right? So after ZFS, why we need Veritas? That is the question he's asking. Okay. Solaris, when it started with, say, there are old versions. Then after that they had 2.2, 2.3, 2.4, 2.5. When 2.7 came, they don't want to say 2.6, 2.7, right? Because it looks like very old, right? They changed the name to Solaris 7. Up to 2.6, it is 2.6. In 2.7, Solaris 7.
Next one will be Solaris 8.
Sun OS 5.7, okay? Then Solaris 8,
Oh yeah. You forgot it.
9, 10, okay?
11 also.
Yeah, yeah.
Windows 7.
Okay.
Windows 8. Windows 10.
When 8 came, they introduced what? Solaris Volume Manager, this one. They introduced that at that time. In Solaris 8. Before that, what did they have for volume management? What did they have for volume management? They had,
Disk partition.
no, they had something called Solstice. Solstice Disk Suite. Have you heard about Disk Suite? It's old, right? It doesn't have much functionality, but Solstice products, Solstice had a product called Admin Tool, Disk Suite, like that, right? In Admin Tool, we can create printers, users, lot of things we can do. It's like a menu-driven something, a little graphical, right? They had one product called Disk Suite, where we can create meta devices. I can create meta devices. That is something like this, okay? So they didn't have a good product. First, Disk Suite is not that powerful product, right? It's not like Veritas. So all the companies which were using Solaris was using Veritas. Even after 8, even after Solaris 9, they were using Veritas. ZFS came. When did ZFS come? Solaris 10. Veritas is an expensive product, right? They spend a lot of money on that. They already set up their environment, and they already created file systems called Veritas file system. So they can't suddenly change to ZFS, right? Even ZFS is there. ZFS has a lot of good features. I'll tell you some features a little later, right? But still they cannot just move to ZFS. So companies are still using Veritas. But in another few years, maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it will go away, maybe, right? At that time, Veritas may introduce more, better product, maybe, right? Lot of companies are still using 2.4, 2.5, 2.6. Because I don't need the features of Solaris 10, so why do I have to upgrade, right? I will still use my old version, right? Solaris 10 has ZFS, that is good, but I'm not using, so I don't want. Solaris 10 has zones, I don't need zones, so I don't want. D-trace, I don't want. Auto healing, I don't want. So those type of features Solaris 10 had. So if I don't want, I can still continue using Solaris 8, Solaris 7 or maybe, right? At that time, then I will use my Veritas. The big advantage of ZFS is made for Solaris. So it will work very, very nice and fast with Solaris. If I'm creating a RAID, it is very fast in ZFS file system, right? Very fast. And also, now what happened? I created a file system. I mounted it. After mounting, I go to this directory. I can use it. I can copy files. I can create files. No problem. But when I shut down the system, what will happen? this mount will disappear.
Yeah.
So then again I have to manually mount. If I shut down, disappear. So to avoid that, I have to put this information in a file. There's a file called VFS tab. Don't worry about that now. In that file, I have to put this information. Mount this on this. Mount this on this. That information I have to put it in that file. So every time I create new file system, I have to modify that file. It takes a lot of time for me. I have not only one computer, one server. I have 500 servers, right? It's a lot of problem. In Veritas also, Veritas, do I have to do that after formatting this, after mounting this? Do I have to put it in the file, VFS tab file?
No.
Do I have to put it in that file?
No.
I have to. Still I have that problem. In ZFS, can I do that? I can do it in ZFS?
No.
I don't think so.
ZFS, I don't have to do.
It takes.
ZFS automatically put it in the file. We don't need file.
It's already
Because they
downloaded
will-
automatically.
Automatically it is
Remove the volume manager.
because we don't create a volume there.
Yeah, you can.
In ZFS, we don't create volumes. We create a spool. Spool is like a disk group, right? And then create file system on the spool. That's it.
Yeah.
When I create a file system, it automatically mounts, right? We don't have the volume concept there. Okay? But still I can add more things to that, reduce things, all those can be done. Okay? Any questions so far?
But ZFS is only for Solaris, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that
What about the
limits
Linux?
it, right?
What about
Not
the
even for
Linux has a built-in volume manager, right? Logical volume manager. Linux has logical volume
Yeah,
manager.
physical, logical, and
Volume group is used in logical volume manager. That is in Linux. So we have a volume group creator.
yeah, IBM.
We have their physical volume, logical volume, logical group, like that we have. Right?
Yeah.
So this is something like volume
I
group
still remember.
in Linux. When we talk about Linux, we'll talk about that. Any questions?
Prasad,
You want to ask something?
Huh?
You wanted to ask something? Oh, no. Okay. What about you?
New companies are after Solaris,
Yeah.
so they don't need a.
Brand new company, okay. Brand new company, they can manage with these ZFS.
ZFS.
Yeah, they can manage.
So the features wise all are same.
No, not 100%. As I told you, Veritas is only made for that. When Veritas is made, their main concern is, okay, volume management, clustering, net backup, like that. Okay? So they are focusing on that and they have a lot of features. But ZFS, main concern for ZFS is not volume management. Main concern for ZFS is maybe self-healing, maybe other features also, right? Not only volume management, right? So if a person is very particular about volume management, he wants a nice graphical utility for volume management. In the case of Solaris, I don't have a very nice graphical utility. Maybe if I use a third-party tool, maybe, right? But here we have a nice graphical utility in the Veritas, right? And if I want expertise, I don't get much people who are experts in ZFS, right?
because the new.
Yeah, it's a new one. Maybe I have more experts in Veritas, right? Right. And also my clustering is based on Veritas volume manager. So a lot of other things are based on that. Or already I changed the file system to Veritas file system. So those are the concerns I have, right? So still I have to use for some time. But ultimately it will go away, but we don't know. Okay? So any questions so far? No. Since you don't have questions, we will take a short break. Then come back, right? Take about 15 minutes break. Don't move this, please. So I said the logical name we used before, dev, dsk, c0, d0, or t0, d0, whatever it is. It's not used anymore, and we are using something like this. Okay? Yeah. So this is